Hmm. Did you know that fat digestion doesn't really occur in your stomach?
What do you mean?
It begins in the stomach, but only about 10 or 15% is actually digested. The main part of fat digestion begins with your liver with the production of bile.
What's bile?
Bile is a green fluid containing minerals, cholesterol, neutral fat, phospholipids, bile, bilirubin, and bile acids. Each of these components aid in fat digestion and absorption.
I still really don't understand. Can you show me a model or something?
Sure, I have one right over here. Bile begins its journey in the liver. Hepatocytes, cells within the liver, produce bile. Through the bile caniculi and the bile ductils, the bile travels through the liver and eventually forms the common hepatic duct. From there, it joins the cystic duct from the gallbladder and combines to make the bile duct. As it descends towards the small intestine, it joins with the pancreatic duct. From there, the bile is funneled into the duodenum of the small intestine.
I thought bile came from the gallbladder.
There is bile in the gallbladder, but the gallbladder actually stores and concentrates the bile.
Do we digest bile?
The bile gets there into the gallbladder by first filling up the bile duct, but then it overflows into the gallbladder.
Do we digest bile?
Well, about 80% of the bile acids are reabsorbed in the last part of the small intestine, called the ileum. This is how we maintain good cholesterol.
Ew. What other organs are involved with fat digestion?
If this was the gallbladder, the green stuff would be the bile. Bile is coming from the gallbladder from the bile and through the bile duct. It goes through the bile duct into the pancreas, where it then joins with the pancreatic duct and funnels into the duodenum. Well, the process of fat digestion is complicated. I'll focus on everything that is involved with bile. There's the liver, pancreas, gallbladder, and small intestines. The liver is the largest part of the organ in the body, the largest solid organ in the body. It performs a variety of functions, and one of them, as I mentioned, is producing bile. The pancreas is an endocrine and exocrine organ. Its endocrine function is producing insulin and glucagon. Its digestive function is producing pancreatic juice, a basic solution of sodium carbonate, enzymes, and other electrolytes. Pancreatic juice aids in protecting the duodenum of the small intestine by neutralizing the acidic contents of the stomach. The small intestine, which is actually the longest organ in the body, is divided into three portions: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. Its function is the absorption of nutrients.
What's some more detail on the small intestine tissue?
Well, they're important physiologically and anatomically in regards of digestion. The circular folds cause the chyme to decline in progression and mix. Mixing thoroughly allows absorption. Projections called villi are covered with two kinds of cells: enterocytes that absorb and goblet cells that secrete. Villi basically represents this. They're string-like projections that come out from the tissue. The fuzzy edges on here would be the microvilli. Villi have lymphatic capillaries called lacteals that absorb lipids. Blood capillaries absorb nutrients. When chyme touches these villi, contact digestion occurs, which is the last part of chemical digestion. Now, how it helps in fat would be like this. Say these are fat globules. Too big to be stuck on the villi, so they won't get absorbed. If they're broken down a little smaller, maybe they would be. These aren't small enough. This process is called emulsification, because it separates the fat using hydrophobic and hydrophilic plasma membranes. When it's emulsified enough, then the villi will stay on there. Well, that's all I know. Turn off.